Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be talking about why we need the zodiac sign Leo. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the sun, moon, and ascendant. Anyway, first thing off, well, we need Leo, I believe, because of their very strong courage and fortitude. My grandfather's son in Leo, classic example. One time he jumped into the waters, intrepid waters of the Long Island Sound, and he saved, I know, one person at least from potentially drowning. He was only like 5'5", 160 pounds. He was diminutive in stature, but he had the heart of and courage of a lion. So that is one reason that we need Leo. Another thing about Leo too, why I believe we need them is because of their near inexorable and indefatigable energy. They could be counted on to do tasks that require laborious effort, much endurance. Construction, as an example, Muhammad Ali had Leo rising. He epitomized this energy. He often, would outlast these fighters due to his will, his strong endurance, his strong energy level, and he was just, and again, his flamboyant nature, is something where, he really showed very strong Leo energy. That would be a vast understatement. So that's another reason I believe we do need the zodiac sun Leo in our lives. Now, another reason we need Leo too is because often they have that try harder than previously mentality. They can often emerge victorious in situations and scenarios they have no business winning in. I've talked previously about how I believe actors and actresses can be maybe subconsciously, if not consciously, drawn to roles that may correspond with their astrological energies. Now, actor Leo Sun and actor Eric Martself is certainly no exception. He starred on some, I think it was an NBC soap opera called Passions, and there was one situation where, he was in a situation where it looked like he was, it looked very perilous, and it showed where it was like these walls were closing in on him. He was in some trap, and there were these walls that were closing in on him, and he took a plank of wood out of the ground and he wedged it between the walls. Now, I don't know if that is what ultimately saved him or not. I think they eventually just stopped. Somebody hit the remote and stopped the walls from closing in on him. But anyway, I'm just using that as an example of that never say die Leo energy. Now, another thing about Leo too, why we need them is because of their very strong, exorbitant creative energy, which could really be often used to benefit others. Now, I saw an episode one time, it was a Forensic Files episode, and there was a Sun and Leo person, Herb McDowell, used very strong creative prowess to help exonerate somebody that may have wound up being in jail for an extensive period. And he did so by using some harness and rope on a body, and was able to do so to recreate a crime scene. Now, you could always Google that if you want to elaborate more on that. But the point is, Leo, can be very creative. They are ones that their creativity often can help, as I stated before, can be very beneficial to others, and they can often come up with these ideas using their creative prowess that others may not be able to do. And also, another reason we need Leo, I believe, is because they could give life to those that are lifeless. They are certainly not ones lacking in enthusiasm or exuberance. They often have a very sunny demeanor and disposition. They could help those out there that are disconsolate or depressed or what have you, and give life to them. Remember that Leo is ruled by the sun, and the sun is about life, of course, and they can give that life and help revitalize, reinvigorate people that are down and out, that have little vitality, or their energy is low, whether it's like figurative or literal, whether it's because they're just simply overly pessimistic and negative, or whether their actual vitality and energy, physical vitality energy is low, or if it's a combination of both. So anyway, well, another reason why I believe we need Leo is because they can often encourage extroversion and gregariousness, and in a way to help others that are more introverted, introspective. They could help a more shy and timid sign like Cancer come out of their figurative shell, so to speak. Pisces is another good example. Pisces can be very submissive, timid, and introverted. They often like their solitude and seclusion and avoid the harshness of the outside world. But Leo is the sign, given how extroverted and outgoing they are, they can bring those people out and really help them become more gregarious and more into the outside world. So anyway, hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Now, Leo also, their inordinate generosity. Another reason we need them is because their inordinate generosity may unwittingly, inadvertently give others incentive to be more generous. That might actually rub off on other people. That it's often Leos are often very magnanimous, and it could be whether on a monetary level or just in their time with others. They are the ones that can grant favors without much hesitation or procrastination, and they can inspire others to do so as well. So that's another reason why we need Leo. I believe we need Leo in our lives. Now, anyway, excuse me a second, people. I'm sorry. Another reason why we need Leo is because they're often superlative selling ability, their ability to boast or brag up the good attributes or qualities of an item. It could either be where they're actually going door to door or selling or telemarketing, or they're just talking about something that they have. They are something, Leos are very positive people. They're very upbeat. They know how to accentuate the positive. Maybe they can actually embellish a little. They probably can make very good writers as well because of that. Now, can Leo sometimes maybe distort things a little and exaggerate or distort the good qualities of something? That could be very true as well, because they could have that proclivity to really brag up something maybe more than it needs to be, but nonetheless, they do have their very strong ability to sell an item and could be very good car salesmen, real estate salesmen, etc. Now, another thing about Leo, why we need them in our lives, I believe, is because they could be great leaders and coaches. I think Sun in Leo, Bill Parcells, former head coach, epitomizes this energy. Is certainly no exception. Now, I felt like he may have been notorious for getting his players to get fired up. Classic example is that one time Bill Parcells, according to a story I read, he had kicked Wayne Corbett, an NFL player. I think it was like in the shin or something. Wayne Corbett, I believe, was a Sun in Leo, ironically enough, and kicked Bill Parcells back. And Bill Parcells said something like, "Hey, I like that." See, I think what it was is Bill Parcells, despite being very domineering, seemingly overbearing, he was somebody that just wanted to get his players fired up so they could take that aggression out on the playing field and be better players because of that. So anyway, last but not least, Leo, we need them because they can encourage others to splurge a little bit more, and you don't have to necessarily be frugal and hold on to money and be tight-fisted or whatever the term is. You don't always have to be like a Virgo and hold back, or a Cancer and zodiac sign Cancer and hoard everything. You could always, they could encourage others to spend a little more, but which could be beneficial in a way, understanding that life is about, it's not always about holding on to things, but as long as they're not encouraging others to be extravagant to the point where they spend compulsively and lose virtually everything they have. So anyway, people, that will conclude this YouTube astrological segment as to why we need Leo. Next time I'll be talking about why we need Virgo. Two things I want to get with you on before I head out. Firstly, the stars may impel, but do not compel. And secondly, never isolate any single astrological element, aspect, planetary placement, position, configuration, influence, or what have you, and make an analysis of a person, astrologically speaking, based on this alone, because astrologically speaking, the person is the sum of all their components in their natal chart and not just one. Until next time, people, stay well.